wow. Insane jumpage, yeah! Fish number one, baby. High five, everybody.
What is up, all you addicts out there? Thank you so much for tuning into another addictive video. Before we get this one going, I have to just give you guys a huge thank you. Everyone that came to the sportsman shows, the bashes, we love meeting every single one of you. We appreciate all of you, so thank you guys so much for coming out. We got a little special project that we worked on that I'm excited to release in this video. I think it was last year. I can't remember, but the guys from Johnson Outdoors came out, Canon downriggers. We filmed a couple little special features. We're gonna debut one of them right here on this video. So even before we get the whole video started, check out this piece from Canon downriggers, and then we're gonna get into a banger video. Thanks again, everyone. We appreciate you. Let's get this going.
What's so great about kokanee? They are the little salmon that could.
Jordan, get him, bud. Oh, yeah.
He's really colored up. But a kokanee lacks up in size, it makes up in everything else. Its taste, its tenacity, how hard they like to fight, how readily accessible they really are to people, and they're awesome to take out the kids and family and provide a good fishing experience.
Nothing will warm you up like a couple of nice kokanee takedowns on a Canon downrigger.
What a lot of people don't realize is that a true kokanee is a sockeye salmon that is just landlocked. And so these are a salmon that don't get to go out to the ocean, get all the food, get all the nutrients to come back and be really big salmon. They will just treat a lake just like the ocean if they can't get out. But then when they get to a certain size and there's not enough food to support them growing any bigger, they'll become sexually mature and swim up the creeks in the small rivers and spawn just like every other salmon does, create babies. The babies will then flow out to the lake and they'll keep going like that. So when we're fishing them in the spring, the fish are very silvery, they're chrome, they're beautiful, they're a little smaller, but as they progress, they grow a little larger through the summer. And when they get to that natural instinct, like, okay, it's fall time, I need to go spawn, what they'll do is they'll congregate towards the little creeks and river mouths of the lake or the reservoir, and they start to pair up and spawn just like salmon. And some of the pairing and some of the spawning that they do get real competitive because the real choice clean gravel and clean pools get very sought after. So when you go and you check out some of these creeks and some of these streams, sometimes you can go and see thousands and thousands of these little red-bodied greenhead kokanee all fighting for their time in the gravel. Unfortunately, just like all our Pacific salmon, when they spawn, it's the end of the road for them. They basically will sit on their reds and fight until they have no more energy, and then they'll die. But also when they die, in the death of that salmon, they're also providing nutrients to the creeks and the rivers. The bugs and the plants and everything benefit from those kokanee dying in the streams. And then in the spring, when the fry hatch and they come out into these natal streams and creeks, hopefully those salmon that have died provided a lot of bugs, a lot of forage for them. They're gonna migrate down to the lakes, and then they're gonna continue the cycle all over again. Kokanee are kind of unique as they have a really soft mouth because they bite and they fight real hard and aggressively. So we pair these soft rods with our Canon downriggers to put the gear right at where the fish are going to be and hopefully catch a bunch.
Kokanee, I'd say, is probably the most finesse style of downrigger fishing, but probably even more necessary. Fishing with the downrigger is something that growing up in the Northwest, I didn't see. You know, we don't have those fisheries like you do in the Great Lakes where you're fishing these large bodies of water, but being able to adapt it to these reservoirs and these lakes, and even a small one, even if you need to go 20 feet down, it's still sometimes more effective than having a piece of lead on there.
Utilizing the downrigger to get down to the depth, our landing ratio is considerably better because we don't have all that lead and stuff attached to it.
Putting a limit on the deck by 10 a.m., it quickly showed how effective getting your stuff down and holding it in that particular zone was.
With the amount of people out there that really have gravitated towards kokanee fishing, I can fish 200 days, full seasons of just kokanee guiding because I think the demand is that much. Utilizing downriggers, I can now fish year round and experience the full potential of the season.
It sets you apart from any competition on the lake. Good cup of joe. And that is the question. What river do we fish today? Okay, we better get a well-balanced breakfast in our stomach before. And we haven't really done many breakfast recipes on Addicted lately, so I figured today was the day. And I got a doozy up my sleeve. So to get this started, we're gonna go pretty hefty non-butter. Spring mix, avocado, some bitchin' sauce, and our eggs. First, we want some spring mix right in the bottom of the pan. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna wilt some of this spring mix, some of this arugula, spinach. I'm gonna get that nice and wilted down so it gives me a nice little flat layer. And then I'm gonna add my eggs right on top of that. Time to get the toast ready. What we have here is some Kalama sourdough, garlic and rosemary bread. Absolutely mouth-watering and delicious. Now, in goes our eggs. A little bit of salt and a little bit of garlic. Okay, the flip's a little more tricky with this one, but we nailed it. I'm going to put the avocado down. Actually, I put the bitchin' down first. Actually, we're going to put the mayo down first. I'm going to go small bit of mayo on each one. Scoop of bitchin'. Pull my avocados down. Then on goes our eggs. That's a breakfast fit for a king. Steelhead king, that is. Oh yeah, yep. Cooked to perfection. Ooh, hands aren't working. Carpal tunnel is flaring up here today. But you can see, it's a really nice blend, very healthy way to eat a breakfast. No real fatty meats, no bacon or ham or anything like that. Just some veggies, some avocados, and a little bit of love. Zang. All right, where are they? Got them. There they are. They're not Dave's Tangles. They're spinners. And that is all we're using today, guys. This is the Steelhead One Lure Challenge, and today's edition is with the spinner. It's wild steelhead season. There's a lot of big ones around, and it's no doubt that spinners are my favorite thing to fish for steelhead, so it's gonna be a good day. Let's go do it. So you guys notice I've had these rod holders upside down for quite a while. It's because I've been rocking my 𝗛𝗘𝗏 rooftop tent you guys saw in the 7-day series. If you didn't see that, there's a lot of it on Stay Fishy too. And if you guys haven't seen my other channel, Stay Fishy Adventures, be sure to go down. Basically, it's on the bottom of the Addicted page. You can scroll all the way down. It says other channels, it's Stay Fishy Adventures, and it's just me and Little and Brooke at times. I'm going all over the place camping and having fun. But that's why I put these upside down. So there's multiple uses for these 𝗛𝗃𝗏 racks. They're one of our awesome sponsors. I love all their gear. We got a raft trailer, we got these things, we got the rooftop tent, and it is all very, very fishy. So without further ado, let's get the heck out of here. Here we are. Conditions couldn't be any better. That's what we call steelhead green, ladies and gentlemen. And today I picked a river for this challenge, mainly because it's a very spinner fishy river. The thing about fishing a spinner, especially if you're gonna dedicate yourself to it and maybe try to challenge yourself, is pick somewhere that is actually gonna help you catch a fish on a spinner. This river is full of big gravel tailouts. A lot of the river is the same depth the whole way through. There's no cut banks. There's no really hard edges on the side of the river where it's 10, 12 feet deep, just immediately off the bank. Because those places are really hard to fish a spinner. Those canyon style of rivers that have deep, narrow pockets. But a river that has a lot of room to fish, and what I mean room is a wide river, long tailouts, and not as many like trenches in the river, that's where you want to fish them. So this is where we're starting. See if we can get this done in hole number 1. I think I just might. That feels pretty fishy, Sean. Got him, I got one. Oh my God. It wasn't a big one, it was probably like 3 pounds, but that was a steelhead. Crap. First cast of the day. I think we came to the right place. Dang it. I thought it was bottom. It hit it and it was like swimming with it. And then I felt the head shake a little bit. I thought I was tapping bottom. I was just just kind of bouncing along those rocks like you should. And that little guy picked it right up off the rocks. I think that might have been a cutthroat. Looked like it was only about 24 inches or more or less. Could have been a nice spunky little steelhead, the little steelhead jack, I call them. And that's a fish that I would say is sexually mature, but it's come back. It's only like a 1 salt fish, 1 or 2 salt fish. So they're usually small in size, 24, 28 inches. And don't be mistaking them with a trout and keeping them, because that'd be a really bad thing. You don't want to keep wild steelhead. You want to let those bad boys go so they can keep coming back and go tell their friends that they want to hang out with us. So this is the kind of hole where I'm not necessarily practicing my close middle far technique. I can fish to the middle because I have that depth, but the thing is most of this hole is the same depth all the way across. So I'm gonna go to my swing technique. I'm gonna cast about the exact same distance on every cast and fish it the same, but after every single cast that I make, I'm taking 2 steps downriver. So I'm scanning this whole run. This is the big run and it's hard to fish by yourself. So after every cast, I'm taking 2 steps, I'm casting to the far side, keeping my tip low and getting it to the bottom. As soon as I feel that bottom, I just get that nice gentle swing, make sure that blade keeps moving, and swing that thing all the way across the current line. Okay, spot number 2. She's a doozy. Let's see if we can make it happen. I'm gonna work this far wall over here. Looks like it's still a little shallow on my side, so I'm gonna hit that far side. There's a trough on that far side coming down. It stays really deep over by those rocks, and I can't see bottom over there, so that's a good sign. Couldn't have picked a better day to spinnerfish out here. What really makes a day for spinner fishing, as far as conditions go, I would say, is low water and dirty water. High water sometimes, but a lot of times when you have high boily and fast moving water, it's hard to fish as close to the bank as you need to when you're fishing with the spinner. So having a day like this where it's low, we got some color from some snow melt going on right now. It's a warm day. You can see I don't even have my coat on. So we have a dropping river that has color still. So those fish don't see that spinner coming from very far away. They see it, it comes right into their face, it pisses them off, they grab it, it's fish on. So I got high hopes for today. And where we're fishing today, we have the chance of catching an absolute monster. So stick around throughout this episode. You might learn something and you might see the fish of my dreams. Just really getting a nice arboring swing through here. I'm letting that belly form in my line, making sure I hit bottom at about 90 degrees across the bank there. And then I'm just getting that belly, pointing my tip down at the water, using the current to my advantage. And I'm getting a really nice long swing. You guys have seen, let's see if I have my, nope, don't have the chesty on, but we'll show you this footage now of how little I'm reeling. Once that thing's in the zone and once I'm actually fishing, like right here, I am not touching the reel at all. I'm letting that thing swing. I got that nice slow lope to that blade. It's just spinning. It's not going too fast. Probably, I don't know what the repetitions per minute would be, but you don't want it going super fast and spinning quickly. You want it just doing a nice slow lope. That thing's gonna put off a lot more light and ultimately piss off the fish a lot more if it's just kind of falling into their face. Well, shoot diddly darnder, and no fish in that hole. Time to keep moving. That is the beauty of the spinner challenge, is it's probably one of the fastest techniques for fishing a hole. We're gonna bounce all over this river today, so let's keep moving. Okay, we are now in the spinner hole of all spinner holes. This one, I'm going back to my close middle far technique. I got a long straight stretch. I got boulders spread all the way out. Fast, heavy water on the far side with giant structure and perfect little, basically rolling humps through this inside where these fish can pull up and rest. They could be anywhere in here. So I'm doing the close middle far and we're sticking to it. I got a good feeling about this one. It's all about the mojo, guys. The spinner brings the mojo. It's a tough life for us spinner purists out here. Oh, I like that spot over there. Yes, I do. I like that. And after every couple of steps, every time I take those 2 steps down river, I'm going close. Then I'm going middle. Oh, come on. And then I'm trying one far. You know, maybe it's my spinner, everybody. I think it's time we make a change. I've had this black and silver one on here for, I don't know, probably a month and a half, and it has not let me down, but I think it's time we do something a little bit different. Let's bust out the spinner box. It's going back in there with the black and silvers. This time we bust out Old Faithful. Blue Faithful, silver blade. It's on. First I need to add my, you can see I don't even keep the hooks on my spinners at all. I roll with a big old pack of size or of 2/0 mustad Siwash, and that's what I stick with till my deathbed. That's what we'll be fishing. You know what? I'm doing something crazy, guys. I'm gonna cut my swivel off of here. Try to do it with my hand so I don't litter. I'm gonna take the swivel that comes on this thing. There we go. Keep that in my pocket. I think this is a good change. That black and silver can kind of be more of a contrast for more of a cloudy day when you don't have such nice water out here. But I think this is a good choice for today. Blue Faithful. Blue and silver. I feel it. I'm feeling it. It's crazy sometimes. I preach a lot of the times, don't change your spinner colors a ton. But I have seen it so many times where I'm fishing, and I do that same, I get in that same habit of not changing my spinner for like the entire season. And then I change to a different color sequence of spinner, like a gold blade or any blue body, or go away from the one that I've been consistently fishing and then start getting them. So there is times when you need to have the ones you stick with, but don't be afraid to change. Don't lose that confidence in all the different colors of spinners that there are out there, and kind of roll around and make sure you keep using them. So hopefully this little change does something for me. Got a blue sky today. I'm going with a blue body. All right, go. Okay, might get one here. We're gonna change the GoPro battery because I have confidence. Totally different hole, a lot slower moving, a little bit further up in the river. It's time we catch a fish. Been working hard today, wading across the river, working our butts off hiking. But when you're a spinner purist, this is how your days go sometimes. Okay, stealth mode. I got a really good feeling about this one. Addict. Oh my God, I'm really trying hard to break my rod right now too. Here it goes. Ooh, that was a laser. A lot of structure in this hole here, guys, so I'm really just trying to work my way around it, make sure I hit every little nook and cranny that a steelhead could be sitting in. Got a lot of wood on the opposite side that those fish can kind of tuck under. Oh, this feels really fishy. Come on, baby, don't let me down, spinner. It's only been one addictive video so far this year, and I'm very proud of it, where we didn't catch at least one steelhead. So we got to keep our drive alive and hook a fish on this video. I just kind of had that feeling. It's just kind of that eerie, half sunny, perfect water day where something cool is going to happen. Like we're going to catch an absolute giant. And we're using the right setup. It is the beauty of a spinner at times. If you're searching for a big fish, you may catch less at some instances, but more often than not, a bigger, more aggressive fish is the kind of fish that's going to eat your spinner. So sticking with a presentation like this can up your odds on getting that fish of a lifetime. Something's telling me to go back to the black and silver. Just kind of matches where we're fishing right now, and got to stick with your gut. So the setup that I'm using here today, you guys, is an 𝗛𝗘𝗟𝗣 rod. This is a 932M. God. So the setup that I'm actually using here today, guys, is probably one of the best spinner rods that I've ever fished. And that's saying something because I've tried a lot of them. I love the action on it and the accuracy of casting with this thing, the way I have it set up. It's unbelievable. I have an 𝗛𝗘𝗟𝗣 series. This is a 932M 8 to 15 pound rod. That 9.3 size is perfect, especially in situations like this where you got to be really direct. You can point that tip and fire it almost like the barrel of a gun. And then I got a C40 Kymar on here and 30 pound enforcer braid. That enforcer braid is important to me because you can see exactly where you're fishing as it's going through the hole. You know exactly where your spinner is. And to kind of counteract that really high vis line, I tie about an 8 to 10 foot bumper, a 15 pound tough line on the end of that with a blood knot, and then I go right to my spinner. I'm using R&B spinner today, but I have some different ones in my bag. I have Steelhead Slammer, I have North Fork lures, and of course I have stuff like Blue Fox and all that. So having a good variety is very key, but the right rod setup will make you a lot better spinner fisherman. Oh my God, come on. Got him, got him. It's a good one too, it's a good one. All I had to do was cry about it a little bit. Fish on. Oh, wow. Insane jumpage, yeah. Another one. Oh, another one. Wow, this fish likes it out of the water much more than he likes it in the water, that's for damn sure. We did it, everybody. First fish of the spinner challenge. Yes. Beautiful little steely. Oh, oh, another one. Jump count, jump count. Just gonna take a knee here. Take nice and gentle care of this. Looks like it's a wild steelhead. We might find some hatcheries today, and if we do, we'll take them home and cook one for you guys. But nonetheless, that's fish number one of the spinner challenge. Yeah, baby. Look at that. What a creature. Oh, wow, what a perfect fish. My hands get, yep. Fish number one, baby. High five, everybody. Fish number one of the day. Could not have been a prettier one. We got a good chance of catching some more. Let's get fishing. Okay, I'm gonna be a smart guy and I'm gonna check my line. Even though that fish didn't really beat me up too bad, I'm gonna make sure my spinner's still straight so it doesn't twist my line. Hook's still sharp. Let's get to fishing. Could be another one here. They're usually not alone. So one thing you guys see there, we can do a little instant replay, is how I set the hook on that fish. Got him, got him. It's a good one too, it's a good one. All I had to do was cry about it a little bit. Fish on. And oddly enough, even with that 2/0 mustad sidewash on there, or even a treble hook, if you set the hook too fast and you don't let that fish swim away with the hook, you're not gonna keep him hooked for very long. You're gonna get a jump or two, you're gonna get some good runs out of the fish, but as soon as he goes the opposite direction, he's gonna come off. You saw how many jumps that fish did, and we still were able to land him, and that's because I didn't set the hook. I let him take it, I let my rod load, and let that hook go right into the side of his mouth, and then I lifted up and set the hook. So that's a proper technique of setting a hook on a steelhead in this sort of situation. I'm in the zone right now, everybody. This is some of my favorite water to fish. This really fast, broken, shallow riffles where these fish kind of just tuck up behind any little boulder they get. And it'll be amazing for you to see underwater how much turbulence there is behind each rock, to where the fish will be sitting in water that's that fast and not having to swim at all. They just sit, ride that current, ride that plane, and they can comfortably just chill in a nice little hidey spot like you see here. I can see some big boulders out here. Having some good glasses really helps a lot in this kind of fishing. Being able to see your structure under the water will, one, allow you to keep your spinner a lot longer and not be snagging up as often, but two, it'll allow you to see the structure that those fish are behind and more effectively fish to them. Okay, come on. There's got to be one here. Right there. Oh. Ugh. Oh, dirty business over here. It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it, you know? Come on. So good in there. Beauty of a spot like this is that these fish really have no choice but to have that spinner get in front of them. They don't have to chase it down like they did in that last hole. They're sitting behind the rocks. That thing surprises them ultimately. And the reality of it is, I don't know if you guys knew this, but fish don't have hands. The only thing they have to defend themselves are their mouths. So you scare them, you freak them out with that spinner like that. All they have a choice to do is hit that spinner with their mouth. And good thing it's got a mustad 2/0 sidewash on it. Grab a hold of them. Go. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Attaboy, little. Good job. Woohoo! Good job, buddy. He made it. He made it. Well, a valiant effort on this week's one lure challenge. The spinner came through. Of course it did. I already knew it would. So I picked this challenge. But what I wanted to say lastly is I want to see some comments down in the comment section on what lure challenges you want to see us do next. We have a lot we can still cover. We can still do jigs, we can still do worms, we can still do beads, we can still do spawnies or some sort of bait. And hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be able to see which one does the best on one of these videos, on this challenge video. So let's see the comments below on what you guys want to see next. And if you guys want to see more fun videos just like you saw today, go up here and click the link to the next video. Go down here, hit subscribe, turn the bells on, give this video a thumbs up and comment below. You can be the comment of the day just like this person right here. Thanks so much for tuning in this week, everybody. You all stay fishy. We'll see you out there.